follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on YouTube channel, NTA News Online, and other social media platforms showing on your screen. President Bola Tinubu has approved the release of 16.7 billion naira for the immediate reconstruction of the Maqua bridge in Niger State, which was destroyed by flooding in May 2025. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, disclosed this in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi State capital, after a meeting with his colleague, Minister of Works, Dave Umahi. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
3 months ago in Maqua, Niger State, a devastating flood occurred that claimed the lives of several persons and displaced hundreds of families. The bridge in Maqua, linking the northern and southern part of the country, was not also spared. However, efforts by the federal government to ensure the rebuilding process of the affected Maqua bridge has yielded results.
The president, before he traveled out yesterday, graciously approved the immediate reconstruction of the Maqua bridge, as requested by the Honorable Minister. He graciously approved, because of him. And also he requested himself and NSA the reconstruction of the washed away, 5-span bridge of Wokari in Taraba State, But he's a man that is very fair. And each time he does something, he touches the entire geopolitical zone.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation says the approval underscores the administration's responsiveness to urgent infrastructure needs.
My senatorial district, we want to thank Mr. President, and we want to thank the Honorable Minister of Works. We jointly discussed about this, and we approached Mr. President, and Mr. President graciously approved that bridge. It means a lot for the people of my state. 16.7 billion to reconstruct that Maqua bridge. It's a 10-span bridge. We want to thank Mr. President, and I feel really very honored. And when we discussed with the president and said this means a lot for us, he quickly appended his signature. And so we feel very happy. The Minister of Works, even though he's from Ebonyi, he was the first set of people that sent people to Maqua to go and look at what is happening there. And only yesterday or 2 days ago, Mr. President graciously approved that Maqua bridge for our people. We feel very, very honored for that. I know that even our governor will be very, very happy to hear this.
Thank you. There was reassurance here that the Tinubu administration's infrastructural projects are designed and being executed across the country. In Abakaliki, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Forces have captured 2 top Ansaru leaders wanted for deadly attacks, including the 2022 Kuje prison break. National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribado, in a news conference in Abuja, confirmed the arrest of Mahmoud Mohammed Usman, also known as Abu Bara, and Abubakar Abba, also called Malam Mahmuda, the 2 men described as the central figures of the Ansaru terrorist network. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
Concluded a high-risk, intelligence-led...
The Ansaru group, with long-standing links to Al-Qaeda terrorist organization, has been responsible for several high-profile terror operations in Nigeria. Among them, the attack on Kuje Correctional Facility, which freed hundreds of inmates. Abubakar Abba, alias Malam Mahmuda, was not only the supreme leader of the Mahmoud terror group, but also a foreign-trained militant having undergone extremist training in Libya.
The group was first formed in January 2012 with a public declaration in Kano. It emerged as a splinter faction from Boko Haram, positioning itself as a humane alternative. However, its stated aim quickly turned into attacking Nigerian security agencies.
His arrest, alongside Abu Bara, is seen as deflating Ansaru's central command. The fall of Ansaru's leadership represents a critical step in dismantling extremist networks in Nigeria.
The federal government, under the able leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has consistently maintained that Nigeria will indeed be free for all Nigerians. Therefore, what we have witnessed today is another indication of the commitment of not just the president, but all those who are saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that lives and property are protected in this country under the able leadership of the National Security Advisor and all the service chiefs. I have maintained consistently that you do not seed your front pages or your headlines to these terrorist criminals who are trying day and night to make sure that all of us do not find a place to sleep in this country.
Mahmuda terror group has been responsible for terrorizing parts of north-central Nigeria, particularly Bagu in Niger State and parts of Kwara State. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
From the Situation Room of Auda, Nepal, Nigeria is commending INEC for the peaceful conduct of by-election in 12 states of the country this Saturday. Kenneth Nanim reports that head of African Peer Review Mechanism of agency spoke to NTA on the observations made. That head of African Peer
election and its processes is part of the mandate of Auda, Nepal, Nigeria. From the Situation Room at its headquarters in Abuja, the agency is interfacing with its personnel in the field for updates. Head of African Peer Review Mechanism of the agency, Karim Rashid Alawale, is the coordinator of the Situation Room.
We have reports that generally election has been very, very peaceful. Materials arrived, the polling unit as at when due, there are presence of security agencies, no photo party, and even at the point we were asking if there's a case of vote buying, but none of our observers were able to report to us that there's a case of vote buying so far.
Other areas the agency is observing include the deployment of ICT and how persons with disabilities are being included in the process.
From what we gather from our field, from our men on the field, Beavers has been working excellently. I think it's only in Kano we were hinted that we had skirmishes of issues somewhere, which has been immediately nipped in the bud. Generally, the election has been very, very peaceful, and I want to commend INEC for this.
The agency says it will continue to follow up with developments for updates until the by-elections are concluded by INEC in the 12 states. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Ahead of the continuous voter registration exercise, Independent National Electoral Commission Plateau State is engaging stakeholders towards the success of the exercise scheduled for the 18th of this month. Ijoma Ozemena reports.
Independent National Electoral Commission oversees and regulates the conduct of elections, compile and maintain a credible updated register of voters, and conduct continuous voter registration exercise. This gathering of stakeholders, therefore, is targeted at promoting voter education and civic awareness among the populace. As continuous voter registration exercise approaches, participants of this meeting brainstorm on ways of ensuring a hitch-free exercise.
We also want to commend INEC for improving on their operations, but we would like to further ask you to improve on elections in Nigeria so we can vote from the comfort of our homes.
On the issue of IDPs, this exercise is spanning for 1 year, and I'm sure as we start, a lot of issues will begin to unfold.
What will the INEC do about this so that we will not deprive them from their franchise to vote in their various roles where they left incomplete?
Registrar at the local government headquarters, how do you properly place such a registrant in his ward? What is the thing that INEC is putting in place so that we are able to recognize those foreign nationals and not register them at all?
For Resident Electoral Commissioner, the continuous voter registration is a vital framework of democratic process.
The exercise is for the following categories of Nigerians. 1, new voters, 18 years and above, that have not registered before. So the implication of this is that those that have registered and have obtained their permanent voters card, that suffices for them. 2. Collection of unclaimed PVC. Because we have over 101,000 PVCs that are yet, to be collected.
The stakeholders agreed to make meaningful contributions towards the success of the exercise scheduled for 18th of August 2025 in Jos. Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang says his administration will continue to prioritize youth empowerment and create opportunities for young people to contribute meaningfully to nation building. The governor stated this during the 2025 International Youth Day celebration in Jos. Ndayang and Yebagang has details.
National Youth Day is celebrated annually to recognize the role of young people in shaping the future of their communities and countries. In line with this, Plateau State joined the world to commemorate the 2025 International Youth Day with the theme, Local Youth Actions for the Sustainable Development Goals and Beyond. The event brought youth from across the 17 local government areas, government representatives, civil society organizations, and development partners to engage young people in discussions on their role in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals and explore opportunities for youth empowerment and promote innovation and leadership amongst the state's young population.
Right, so many times we feel as if change has to come from the top or it has to come from another international location down here. But for me to be in Plateau State, to be a native of Plateau State, it shows that I also have a role to play.
The youth are coming to make an impact, and so far you can see the government is doing really well to empower the youth. The government is doing really well too, And so far, all we can do is look to support claimants, bring our knowledge and what we've gotten from outside. From what we can bring here to Plateau State.
Governor Caleb Mutfwang, represented, underscores the importance of the International Youth Day as a platform for recognizing the contributions of young people to societal growth. He urged youth in the state to take advantage of available opportunities to contribute meaningfully to development, peace building, and innovation.
The government will continue to do things that will empower Plateau youths. We'll give you the right exposure. We'll make sure we support you with the right education and the right experience so that we can be at par with youth all over the world.
A public analyst, Luka Yakubu Pampe, who spoke on youth growth and development in Nigeria and Plateau State, stresses the need for continuous investment in education, skills acquisition, and leadership training to prepare young people for the future.
If you go to the limit, you can pick nothing less than 101 people that are very creative but have never been to the four corners of the classroom. So we must be deliberate in identifying these specifics so that we can put them into productive ventures at the end of the day.
With strong government support and active participation from various institutions, stakeholders say the pathway is set for the youth to contribute meaningfully to sustainable development growth in Nigeria. In Jos, Ndanyan and Abuja, NTA News.
And to discuss on the International Youth Day 2025, we have in the studio the chairman of the Plateau State Youth Council of Nigeria, Mr. Panam Gongdeng. You're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You have just marked the 2025 International Youth Day. Can you shed more light on the theme of this year's celebration?
Okay, thank you very much. It's a Youth Week. A Youth Day has been celebrated on the 12th of August. It's a commemoration that is global. And as you have seen from the news, Plateau State was not lacking behind in terms of marking the day. The Plateau State Youth Council put up the robust program in collaboration with the Ministry for Youth and Sports, where youths are brought together to be reminded of the need to be deliberate about the immediate domestication of the sustainable development goals as they were. Looking at the 17 goals, there are quite a lot of the goals that are very peculiar and specific to the needs, the yearning and aspirations of Nigerians and young people on the plateau. Because the experience in America may be different from the experience here in Africa and likewise the other continents. And so we are deliberate about looking at which one best fit our immediate need as a state, and that was captured and carried out as what we are going to be particular about in terms of celebrating this year. We have decided to advance multilateral cooperations through the use of technology and leveraging on what AI is availing to young people, particularly of plateau extraction. You know, we are not lagging behind when it comes to technology and using artificial intelligence in resolving societal issues. And so we have decided as young plateau people to look deliberately at identifying people who have not been able to access formal education but are gifted and are full of potentials in aspects that could be leveraged upon to improve society. And what we are basically celebrating on the plateau is the advancement in mechanized agriculture. You know, the governor is so deliberate about empowering young people, and what we have on the plateau as back farms has been given back to the young people on the plateau and availing various mechanized methods of crop production, animal productions, and so on for the youths. And as we speak, 1,000 youths are already gathered on back farms, venturing into various agricultural productions, and in few months to come, we will activate the livestock production in that same back farms. Of course, we know the basics, and the basics for a stable economy is when you have a peaceful environment. We are very much aware of the situation here on the plateau and most parts of the north central and part of northeast, where insecurity has ravaged the stability of both the humans as well as crop production within these areas. With particular reference to our brothers from Mushere district of Bokos local government, where you discover that young people who are innovative, young people who are trying to implement what the SDGs presupposes are being destroyed, are being sent away from their localities. But that is not to say we will relent in our efforts, so ensuring that we are not lacking behind in terms of complying with global standards.
So what is the council here in Plateau State doing to engage members in more productive measures?
Well, as you can see, we are very deliberate about leveraging on opportunities. We are, by the day, engaging with stakeholders, corporations, multinational corporations that are willing to partner with the young people in ensuring that the youths are not just left to roam the streets because of lack of formal engagements or opportunities of employment, but that entrepreneurship is charitable on the plateau. And in days to come, you will see another rollout of proper engagement of young people in financial literacy, which is a program the Youth Council is collaborating with Plasmida and GIZ to ensure that we continually drive home this yearning and aspiration by the international system. So we are indeed going round the clock, meeting the right people, engaging the right people to see that the youths of Plateau State are indeed presented to the world in the light for which they should be presented to.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Panam Gondeng, the Chairman, Plateau Youth Council, for honoring us here.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Panorama will continue after the break. Back, stakeholders strongly recommend exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of a baby's life as the most effective way to ensure child health and survival. Ndayang and Ibegang reports.
Magdalene Dafom is a career mother of 3 who practiced exclusive breastfeeding for her 3 children for the first 6 months of their lives, a challenge she took on for the health of her children. Magdalene is not alone, as Comfort, Dorcas, and Esther say exclusive breastfeeding strengthens health and emotional bond of their babies.
During that time that I'm having my child, after my maternity leave, I resume work, I do go along with my baby.
Some of my children, actually, I was not able to do that for them. But this one, I was opportune to be with him.
Sadly, however, there are still mothers who, for various socio-cultural reasons, are either not practicing exclusive breastfeeding or have at some point given their infants water and other forms of feeding.
From birth, I was giving her, but by 2 months, I started giving her water.
When I was breastfeeding her, sometimes she pushed the breast.
Health workers, like in Secretariat Primary Health Care Center, Barkin Ladi, they are working to educate mothers and ensure early initiation of breastfeeding and how to introduce safe and nutritious complementary feeding after exclusively breastfeeding for 6 months.
From onset, when they just deliver a baby, we place the baby on their chest for the babies to start feeling the warmness of the mother, and you start the breastfeeding immediately.
Plateau State is among 10 states that have extended paid maternity leave for up to 6 months for public workers, a situation that some men say will play a vital role in proper child development, calling for implementation across sectors of the economy.
Fathers will encourage them to see the need to encourage their wives to breastfeed their babies for the first 6 months.
In spite of these achievements, there are still challenges, especially in workplaces, undermining the gains, a situation UNICEF and other partners are working to address.
We are calling on state government, local government, employers of labours to ensure that they promote and support breastfeeding.
In Jos, Indenyan and the Abidjan, NTA News.
Nigeria's The Tigress is set to battle Cameroon's senior national basketball team in a top of the group clash at the ongoing Men's Afro-Basket Championship in Angola. With details and more, let's join Suleiman Musa on Sports Update.
The 2025 Afro-Basket is set for one of its most anticipated encounters as Nigeria's The Tigers lock horns with Cameroon's senior men's national team in a decisive Group B showdown on Sunday in Luanda. Both sides head into the clash unbeaten after 2 games each, with Nigeria sitting atop the group on points difference. The stakes are clear. Victory guarantees an automatic quarter-final berth, while defeat means taking a longer route through the playoff round. To football, 4 clubs including USF, Karu, New Karu and Apple Fitness have booked their spots in the semi-finals of the All-Stars Veteran Football Tournament playing at the main bowl of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. In a thrilling encounter Saturday, USF brought out the biggest surprise of the weekend, stunning defending champions, ex-professionals, to qualify. Now, the stage is set for an unforgettable semi-final showdown on Saturday, August 23, as New Karu All-Stars takes on giant killers USF, and Karu All-Stars slug it out with Apple Fitness Club.
We have done what naturally we couldn't do before now as All-Stars, but it is testament that hard work pays.
Going forward, I tend to make my team more relaxed when we are playing football so that we will not be so inquisitive in getting the goal, but rather optimizing all our chances to see we come out victorious.
Yeah, it was a battle out there. We knew it was going to be tough. We didn't expect an easier game, but we had the confidence and believed we could do it.
Still on football, the match day 1 of the 2025-2026 English Premiership saw mixed results and tense encounters as Manchester City began their campaign with a 4-0 bashing of Wolves. Tottenham beat Burnley 3-0 in their first EPL game under new coach Thomas Frank. Newcomers Sunderland overcome West Ham 3-0 to start a life in the EPL after many years in the Championship. Brighton were held to a 1-1 draw against Fulham. For Sunday's fixtures, Manchester United host Arsenal in a Super Sunday clash as the Club World Cup champions. Chelsea host Community Shield winners Crystal Palace at Stamford Bridge. Nottingham Forest play Brentford, while for Monday, Everton are away to Leeds United. With Sports Update, Suleiman Musa, NTA News.
It's been Panorama today from Jos. Good afternoon.